Most companies have already structured their transactions. ERP knows your orders, CRM knows your customers, HR systems know your employees. But a large part of business still enters as unstructured communication. Emails, documents, requests, invoices, incidents, and approvals. Turning that into structured operational data used to mean manual work or rigid rules. Generative AI changes that. It can understand human language and documents and transform them into machine-readable business data at practical scale and cost. But once AI does this in production, a new control problem appears. Which prompt? Which model? Which schema? Which version? Was it tested? What did it cost? What exactly happened? That is where genome governance comes in. And one of the largest operational black boxes is email. Personal, shared, and functional mailboxes where business work arrives every day, but remains largely invisible as structured data. AI MailOps turns that black box into structured, measurable operational work. Start with what enters the company. Emails, threads, attachments, and uploaded documents coming through personal mailboxes, shared teams, Microsoft 365, Gmail, or standard mail infrastructure. To the mailbox, this is communication. To the business, it is something very different. Requests, cases, deadlines, documents, and commitments that somebody eventually has to process. AI MailOps connects to the mail infrastructure already in place and synchronizes that communication, including its metadata and attachments, into an operational environment. Outgoing communication can also be synchronized back to the connected mail provider where configured. So, introducing MailOps does not require a disruptive Big Bang migration of the existing mail environment. Existing mailboxes can be connected first, while teams and processes progressively move into the new operating model. And the first important point is, AI MailOps does not require AI to work. Its operational core starts by turning communication into work. The basic rule is simple. One email thread equals one operational task. Replies stay inside the same case so the context remains together. If somebody forwards the case and creates a new thread, AI MailOps creates a separate linked child task with its own responsibility and lifecycle. Every task can have an owner, status, urgency, due date, and SLA. Shared mailboxes become managed team queues. Work can be distributed according to workload and capacity. You get document management, calendar integration, operational search, dashboards, and audit history. And routing can go to a person, a team, a bot, or a defined automation rule. And that is the architectural shift. Conventional mail clients organize messages. AI MailOps organizes operational work. That entire layer works without a single AI decision being required. Instead of an inbox, you now have an operational work management layer. During the transition, users can continue working through their existing mail environment, while selected mailboxes and processes progressively move into the task-centric MailOps model. Then AI comes in across the three capability areas you see here: semantic understanding, AI-enabled global search, and the AI assistant. First, semantic understanding. This is where AI MailOps moves from managing work to understanding what that work actually means. Incoming communication can be categorized semantically, not just by keywords. You define the business segments relevant to your organization: invoices, applications, incidents, orders, or any company-specific case type. Once a category is identified, it can select the dedicated prompt for that process. That prompt extracts the information the process requires and produces a defined, schema-validated output. For an invoice, that might be supplier, invoice number, dates, amounts, and line items. For an incident, it might be affected system, business impact, priority, and required action. That result can then drive human review, routing, business rules, or middleware automation into an enterprise system. So the operational chain becomes: understand the meaning, select the process, create the required structure, execute the next step. This makes automation semantic-driven rather than dependent on keywords and rigid rules alone. Semantic understanding also extends into documents. PDFs, scans, images, and other attachments can be transformed into searchable text, recognized by document type and enriched with summaries and structured metadata. Document processing can run independently from the email body, so different documents can follow their own classification and extraction logic. The original document, extracted text, and structured data remain connected to the operational case. The second area is AI-enabled global search. A user describes what they are looking for in natural language. AI converts that request into the structured backend query, authorization is applied by the backend, and the matching business records are returned. So search retrieves the right business objects. The third area is the AI assistant. It works directly with the relevant authorized emails, threads, tasks, and documents, provides those source records as grounded context, and then interprets and combines their content to answer questions or prepare actions. So search retrieves. The assistant understands and works with the content. Now, follow the most important connection in the architecture. Every governed AI execution in AI MailOps goes through Genome governance. And the governance layer follows the 4 areas you see here. First, define and version. The AI logic is not just a prompt. The business task, prompts, input and output schemas, constraints and validation logic are managed as controlled, versioned production assets. Second, test and release. Representative test cases can be added, regression and end-to-end tests can be run, and different models can be compared for accuracy, reliability, latency, and cost. Only an approved version is released and with rollback available when required. Third, execute and validate. Production execution uses the released prompt and schema together with the selected model and provider. The result is validated against the expected structure with human review rules where required. And the architecture is not hardwired to a single AI vendor. Approved cloud providers, custom models, or customer-controlled model architectures can be used. And fourth, monitor and improve. Executions can be traced for prompt and schema version, model configuration, result, validation, runtime, usage, and cost. Errors and edge cases can become new tests and feed a controlled next version, rather than an invisible change inside a workflow. Now look at the execution flow between MailOps and governance. AI MailOps requests a governed AI execution. Governance provides the released prompt and schema. It selects the approved model and provider. It executes and validates the result. And it records the execution trace and cost. Then the validated structured result returns to AI MailOps for the next business step. Governance can also control AI models, prompts, usage policies, and budgets within defined scopes, while an AI MailOps workspace can use an inherited workspace-specific or self-hosted genome governance endpoint. That is the difference between a prompt embedded somewhere inside an automation and AI operated as controlled enterprise technology. Once the result returns, you decide how far automation should go. A person can process the case manually. AI can assist while the person decides. AI can prepare the complete action and wait for human approval. Or a bounded, tested process can run as controlled automation. This is a dial, not a switch. Automation can be introduced mailbox by mailbox, category by category, and process by process. Work can then go to people, users, teams, processors, managers, and reviewers. Or structured, validated data can be transferred into the systems that already run the company. ERP, CRM, HR, ITSM, accounting, middleware, customer APIs. Those systems remain authoritative for the actual business transaction. AI MailOps does not replace them. It creates the controlled work intake and workload layer in front of them. And the outcome is simple. Work becomes visible when it enters the company. Responsibility becomes explicit. Workload becomes measurable. Deadlines and SLAs become manageable. Documents become structured business data. And AI automation becomes something you can test, trace, and improve. Underneath everything are separate workspace and mailbox permissions, role-based access, isolated data scopes, protected credentials, encryption, audit, and execution traces, available as SaaS or self-hosted. Operational MailOps permissions and genome governance permissions remain separate, because access to operational work should never automatically become permission to change the AI logic that processes it. So step back and look at the complete picture. Unstructured communication enters at the top. AI MailOps turns it into structured, measurable operational work. AI understands the parts that require human language interpretation. Genome governance controls the AI logic that performs that interpretation. People in enterprise systems execute the resulting work. And management can finally see what happened from intake to outcome. That is AI MailOps and genome governance. From unstructured communication to controlled AI to measurable business execution.